Alright guys, so we got power in it and we got the controller on. I just want to show you in here, dude, the image is super clean. Obviously we're gonna have to get that camera up a little bit, but I can't believe how clean that image is. What I'm going to try to do now is hook up the FXT DVR and see if that's going to work. If it's going to work, I can record the DVR that this is going to get. You can see lower left is 4.1 volts of the battery on this FPV setup. Now, one thing I do like, look at the nose thing. It's just not straight up and down. I've gotten rid of every single pair of cheapo goggles like this because it didn't have an angled nose thing where it was just a cutout and up and down, and it didn't fit on my face right. I've already had this on, it fits on right, but let's see if we can get the DVR hooked up to this. Alright guys, unfortunately I think this is just a video in. I guess so maybe you can use this with your computer, because I went through the menus and I seen video in settings. I didn't see video out settings. That would have been dope if that was video out like the Fat Sharks can do, and I could have recorded off of here so I could show you exactly what I see in here. But I'm gonna go get the other, we're using a lot of FXT stuff, FXT DVR, which actually we're not using. I'm gonna grab the FXT goggles, just have a monitor here so I can record. I'm going to be flying out of these, and we're gonna give that a fly and see how I like it. The only thing that I don't like right off the bat, it's altitude hold, but this is aimed at beginners. That's why you see a full combo set here. So that's just my personal preference. Maybe a newbie would like it, I don't know. Before we go in goggles, guys, I just wanted to show you this. This is the FXT monitor off of the FXT Viper goggles. I'll link them down below. Good goggles for anybody that needs to wear glasses. That's what's going to be recording because we can't tap into this, but we will be flying with these. And again, for how small these are, the fit is perfect. It's not perfect. It's close to perfect. There's very little light leakage. If there's no light leakage, it'd be perfect. And for a super small set, this is going to be good for taking with me for rides when I'm out and about and somebody wants to go for a ride while I'm flying in my Fat Sharks, or the FXT Viper goggles. Or maybe if I have these charged and the FXT Vipers goggles or the Fat Sharks aren't charged, I might use these. The only drawback is no DVR and no video out, as far as I can tell. I plugged the 3.5 in there and I was getting static off of the DVR from the FXT module here, but I wasn't getting any picture. But without further ado, let's get into goggles.
And we have liftoff. So all right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take it up to the top of the yard and basically go as far as I can with these goggles. And it's not per se the max range because I'm being blocked by my house right now. The drone's over here, I'm behind my house around the corner. Like when bam, so you can't even see me. I'm like off to the left over there. You'll see me in a second. So if I was, bam, there I am. So if I was in direct line of sight with this, we probably could have gone farther, but that's not bad. That's not bad, especially for, bam, don't know what happened there. I'm pretty sure a moth flew into it. Pretty sure a moth flew into it and knocked it on the ground. No, but in all reality, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if maybe I did a stick configuration, emergency shutdown, I don't know. But as far as the FPV range and the controller range, it's pretty good. The only thing I'm going to knock this I'm going to knock it super heavy for, is how slow this drone flies. But it is designed for a beginner. But even at a beginner, I think a beginner might get a little bit bored with this. I mean, it definitely, I mean, there might be pros and cons here. Maybe the manufacturer specifically designed this for the newest flyer and they didn't want them to crash this into stuff. They wanted to be able to fly an FPV, and if that was the case, then they've succeeded. With how docile this is, I don't think anybody's going to crash it into anything. You're going to see it coming well before it comes, unlike flying something really quickly. And as you can see, range up high is pretty good. We're coming down a little bit too quick. I'm trying to recover. It's not recovering really well. We did a little bit of bounce, and then it's going to go back down again. I think voltage on the battery, which this wasn't a fully charged battery, so this is not a full flight time. It was a partially fully charged battery. What's a partially fully charged battery? Well, it was around like 4.13 when it should have been 4.2 fully charged. But as far as range goes, it's good. Camera quality. The camera quality is amazing. Unfortunately, the FXT goggles are a little bit dark. I noted that in my initial review of the FXT goggles. The DVR makes things look a lot darker. I did show show you this through the iPhone's eye inside the goggles and also on the FXT monitor. The camera quality, whatever camera they're using, they should let us know. I would like to use it on some of my little drones. Is pretty darn good. But we're just about ready to end this flight here. We are going to end it in the grass, and then we will do a recap. I usually don't do them, but I feel the need to do a recap on this one.
Generally, I don't do recaps, guys. Generally, what I have to say in a video, like during the FPV that you've already seen, is it. But I'm going to do a recap here. My thoughts. One, this thing, I'm extremely impressed by. It is very sad that that is not an output for video that we could have DVR on us, because with no antennas, the FPV quality was pretty darn impressive. So that's a good positive. Two, of this itty bitty controller, pretty darn good control range. But there's a but there. There's an operative but. The rates for this drone on this controller are no good. I was in the highest speed setting and this thing wasn't moving. You guys can see, look at that tree. The leaves aren't moving on that tree at all. There's no wind out here, so it's not a wind issue. That's tough. The rates are super tough. So for me, this is a win. Flyability is not great at all. The camera, whatever camera they're using in this, is actually quite epic. It's really clear. Like almost clearer than some of my AKK AIOs. Like it's really clear. Hopefully the FXT monitor that we have over here, and that's my iPhone. I was charging an iPhone off of solar too. But hopefully the FXT didn't dumb down the quality too much. But it was extremely clear. Like if this flew faster, it'd be great. I mean, we have means to make it fly faster, and we might do that. But alright guys, I'm AJ1001. If you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Questions, comments, concerns down below. Definitely get at me.